At the beginning of the story, a couple is shown on a mountain peak. The boy's name is Hal, and the girl's name is Sarah. They are boyfriend and girlfriend. However, Hal is a professional mountaineer, meaning he helps people who get stuck on mountain. But here he is with his girlfriend Sarah. Now she cannot come down from here because her knee pain has become very severe. That's why a rescue team has arrived to save her. In this team, there is Gabriel, who is trying to climb the mountain to reach Hal. The two are friends. Along with them, a helicopter also arrives. The pilot of this helicopter is named Jessie, who is Gabriel's girlfriend. Jessie cannot land the helicopter on the mountain where Sarah is because that mountain is very small. So she has to land the helicopter on the opposite mountain. From there, she sends a steel cable so that they can come across to where the helicopter is. First, Hal reaches the other side using the cable where the helicopter is. After that, Sarah starts crossing. But when Sarah is in the middle of the cable, her belt comes loose and she gets stuck hanging on the wire. Below her is a 4,000-foot deep valley. If she falls, saving her would be impossible. Gabriel quickly tries to reach her. However, Hal tells him not to do that. He says the rope cannot hold the weight of two people, but Gabriel still reaches her and tries to pull her up by holding her belt. However, the gloves on Sarah's hands start slipping slowly, and Gabriel is unable to pull her up. She falls 4,000 feet down. Because of this, Hal, Jessie, and Gabriel are all deeply saddened as they couldn't save Sarah. A feeling of guilt fills Gabriel, and he leaves the rescue team and goes away. 8 months pass. Gabriel returns once again to the same hill station so that he can collect his belongings and also convince Jessie to leave with him forever, as he loves her. On the other hand, a government department is shown where old currency notes are destroyed and new ones are made. After that, the money is transported to international banks. Today, 3 large bags filled with dollars are being sent to banks. Each bag contains $10 million, and they will be transported by airplane. The head of this team is named Richard, and today an FBI agent is also with them. While they are in the plane, the FBI agent notices that another plane is following them and informs Richard. But Richard is actually working with the people in the other plane, so he shoots the FBI agent and 2 other agents. After that, they open the rear section of the plane and connect a thick steel cable from this plane to the other plane so they can transfer the bag. While they are doing this, the FBI agent who was shot is still alive and starts firing at the people in the other plane. Richard has already moved to the other plane, and before leaving, he had planted a bomb in the first plane so that it would explode after some time and no one would find out about the robbery. Everyone would think it was just a plane crash, but because of the FBI agent's interference, the bags do not transfer in time and the bomb explodes. As a result, the 3 bags, which are still hanging on the cable, fall onto the snowy mountains below. However, they have a device through which they can track those bags. Now, because of the FBI agent firing at their plane, the fuel tank gets damaged and they start running out of fuel. As a result, their plane also crashes in the mountain. Thankfully, no one dies, but now all of them are stranded in the snowy mountain. They have a radio and try to contact the rescue team. They successfully make contact. Their conversation happens with Hal, who works in the rescue team. They tell Hal that 5 people are stuck in the mountains and need help. They also describe the location. Hal understands where they are and realizes that he will have to go there by climbing the mountains because the weather is too bad for a helicopter. Hal sets out for the mission. Jessie goes to Gabriel, who is still there, and tells him that Hal has gone alone to save some people. The weather is very bad, and no one knows these mountains better than him. He should go help Hal. Gabriel does not want to go because after Sarah's death, he is completely broken. He blames himself for her death. However, Jessie explains that he tried to save her, and even if he hadn't tried, she would have fallen anyway. But Gabriel does not want to understand anyone's words and leave. Meanwhile, when Hal is climbing the mountain, he sees that Gabriel is also there. Hal gets angry because he believes Gabriel is responsible for his girlfriend's death. Gabriel says that he knows Hal is angry with, but Jessie sent him there. Hal says that even if he tells him to go back, Gabriel will not leave, but he doesn't need his help. Still, Gabriel does not go back, and both of them start climbing the mountain together. On the other side, the people who tricked them into coming there are waiting for them. They see that 2 people are coming to rescue them. As soon as Hal and Gabriel reach there, those people capture them. There are not 5 people, but many more. The leader of this entire master plan is named Eric Quallen, who has been wanted by the FBI for years. He asks them where the helicopter is. They tell him that in this weather, the helicopter cannot fly. Eric says that their 3 bags are lost, and now they must help them find those bags. They have a device through which they can track the bags. Hal asks what is inside them. They say there are $10 million. On the screen, 3 dots appear, representing the locations of the 3 bags, which are scattered across different mountains. Eric asks if they know these locations. If they don't, they have no right to live. They say that they do know these places. After that, all of them head toward the first bag and reach the mountain where it is located. The bag is actually on the the peak of the mountain, and all of them are on a narrow path. None of them can climb up except Hal and Gabe. Eric tells Gabe that he will go up to retrieve the bag. They tie him with a rope and also remove his warm clothes so that he cannot escape from there. After that, Gabe reaches the peak of the mountain where he finds the bag. When he opens the bag, it is filled with dollars, and there is also a transmitter inside it. Down below, Eric tells his men that as soon as Gabe comes down, they should kill him. We don't need 2 people. When Hal hears this, he shouts to Gabe from below, telling him not to come down because they will kill him. Eric tells his men to pull the rope, and all of them start pulling it. But before Gabe can be dragged down by the rope, he cuts it himself. Eric orders his men to start firing. They all start shooting, which causes a snow slide, and a large amount of snow begins to fall from above. Gabe throws the bag full of money down from the top. When Eric sees the dollars flying in the air, he tells Hal that his friend has died a very expensive death. They all think that Gabe is dead, but he is still alive. At the same time, Hal keeps receiving calls from Jessie because she is a pilot and wants to know his situation. Eric tells Hal to say that it was a false call and that no one is there. Hal says exactly that to Jessie, that it was a false call and no one is there. He also says that he won't be able to come down today because there is a heavy storm and he will take shelter there and come down in the morning. But Jessie becomes suspicious because the mountain Hal had previously described is not the one he is currently on. He was supposed to go to another mountain to rescue people. She realizes that something is wrong. She tells the co-pilot to take her to the western mountains where the winds are weaker and they can reach by helicopter. From there, Douglas Mountain is about half an hour away. If Hal is safe, he would go to Douglas Mountain to take shelter. The pilot drops Jessie in the mountain. On the other side, Gabe is shown climbing the mountains without warm clothes. There are strong, icy winds blowing. He reaches Douglas Mountain where there is a house and he takes shelter there. When he opens the door, Jessie is inside. She is shocked to see Gabe's condition and asks what happened. Gabe explains the entire situation. He tells her that a plane crashed there and those people lost 3 bags full of money and they need those bags at any cost. Once they get the bags, they will kill Hal. He says they must reach the second bag before them. He tells Jessie to gather all the necessary things and both of them set out toward the second bag. On the other side, Hal, Eric, Richard, and their group reach near the second bag. Richard's device shows that the bag is nearby. When they reach it and open it, they find only a single dollar note inside. Eric understands that Gabe is still alive and has the money from that bag. He must be somewhere nearby. He orders his men to find and kill him. His men go after Gabe, but Gabe knows every mountain and rock in the area. Because of this, he kills the men who came after him. Then he and Jessie go to a rock ledge and make a fire using the dollars because they have no other way to light a fire. He says that he has never lit a more expensive fire in his life. The next morning, Hal, Eric, and his team head toward the third bag. Hal is deliberately taking them through a longer route because he knows that if they find the bag, they will kill him. He also wants Gabe to reach the bag before them, as he knows the location of the mountain. On the other side, Jessie and Gabe are also heading toward the third bag, but they take a shortcut through tunnels in the mountain. Eric finds out that Gabe and Jessie are coming through that route, so he plants bombs at the exit point of the tunnel where they will come out and then leaves. These are timed bombs and are about to explode in a few minutes. Gabe and Jessie have no idea about this and are right below the bomb. Meanwhile, Eric is waiting for the explosion. Hal, who is with Eric, snatches his radio and informs Gabe and Jessie that a bomb is about to explode. They quickly try to escape the tunnel, but it is not easy to get out of those mountain caves. They tie a rope to a rock above and hang down from it. They see a safe spot, but reaching it is very difficult. They try to swing the rope back and forth to reach that place, but the rope starts fraying from above. As Jessie reaches toward the rock, the rope breaks and she's about to fall, but Gabe grabs her hand. It happens exactly like in the beginning of the story when he had held Sarah's hand. Jessie's glove also starts slipping slowly, but Gabe uses all his strength and pulls her up. At that very moment, the bomb explodes and they both fall back. Gabe tells Jessie to go down and bring help. He says that if those people reach the third bag before them, they will kill Hal. Jessie leaves to get help. At that time, the pilot who had dropped Jessie there also arrives because the weather has become very clear now. And when Eric and his men see that a helicopter is arriving here, they lay one of their own companions on the ground as if he is injured. When Frank comes down from the helicopter, he is immediately held at gunpoint. Before Hal can reach him or save him, Frank is shot. Now Frank is taking his last breaths in front of Hal. These two had always worked together, and before dying, Frank secretly hands Hal a small knife so that he can use it if needed. Now they have the helicopter. Richard says that they should use the helicopter to go to the third bag, but the pilot says that there isn't enough fuel to find the third bag. They can only land somewhere. Eric asks Richard for the gadget that shows the bag's location and demands the password, but Richard refuses to give it. This leads to an argument between them, and Eric shoots the female pilot, saying that now he is the one who can fly the helicopter and take them down from here. He orders them to go and bring the bag full of money. After this, Richard, Hal, and another man set out to find the bag. When they get close, Richard says that the bag is nearby. The third companion companion says that he wants to kill Hal with his own hands. Richard goes ahead to retrieve the bag while his companion tries to kill Hal, but before he can do so, Hal stabs him through the body with the knife and then shoots him with his gun. On the other side, Richard reaches the location shown by the gadget, which indicates that the bag is there. However, the bag's location keeps shifting left and right as if someone is moving it. Richard becomes confused, and then he notices a rabbit. The tracking device that was inside the bag has been tied to the rabbit because Gabe had taken all the money and attached the tracker to the rabbit instead. This frustrates Richard completely. He calls Eric and tells him that he was a fool to work with him and regrets ever joining him. He says that some climbers defeated them and escaped with all the money. While he is talking, an FBI team is also searching for them and overhears their conversation on the radio, so they now know where they are and start moving toward them. Meanwhile, Richard chases Gabe and fires several shots at him. Because of this, Gabe falls into water beneath the snow. Richard stands above him and declares that he has won and Gabe is lost, but before he can shoot him, Gabe shoots him from underwater and kills him. This is how Richard dies. When Gabe comes out of the water, Hal is there, and the two reunite. After learning that Gabe has taken all the money, Eric begins searching for them with the helicopter. Then they see a girl waving her hand. It is Jessica. This is actually Jessica's team's helicopter, but she doesn't know that her co-pilot Frank has been killed. She thinks Frank is inside, but it is actually Eric. Eric threatens her from a distance, and Jessica raises her hands. Now she is in Eric's control. Eric calls Gabe on the radio and tells him that one of his companions is in his custody, and if he cares about her life, he must bring the money to the highest mountain peak. When Gabe hears Jessica's voice, he agrees and goes to the highest peak with the money. Eric arrives there with the helicopter. Gabe says that if he wants the money, he must release Jessica first, so Eric lowers her down. Then he tells Gabe to come and give him the money. As Eric brings the helicopter closer, Gabe throws the bag full of money into the helicopter's blades, causing the money to scatter into the air. Jessica has been lowered with a steel wire hook, and Gabe hooks it onto a metal ladder attached to the mountain. This ladder stretches far down the mountain. Now the helicopter cannot move forward and crashes. Gabe and Eric both end up hanging onto the helicopter. They start fighting while below them is a 4,000-foot deep gorge. The metal ladder to which the helicopter is stuck begins to slip downward. Before it completely detaches from the rock, Gabe grabs onto the cliff, and within moments the helicopter falls 4,000 feet into the gorge. This is how Eric dies. Gabe climbs up where Jessica is, along with Hal, who used to be his close friend but had been angry with him after Sarah's death. Now their differences are completely resolved, and they become friends again. Soon an FBI helicopter arrives and asks for their identification. They say that they are part of a rescue team. The officers tell them to stay where they are and that help will arrive soon. With this, the story ends. You'll now see 2 videos on your screen. Choose whichever you like. Hopefully you enjoy it, and if you're thinking of supporting me, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That's it. See you in the next film. Goodbye.